Hello there everyone, this is Matt here, and I kind of wanted to make this video to discuss the potential for a significant severe weather event across the Midwestern United States next week. Normally I make these videos whenever it's like right around the event, you know, the day of or the day before, something like that, but this is something that's really caught my eye, something that could potentially be really serious, so I decided to go ahead and start making these videos ahead of time. So we are 5 days away from the expected start of the event, because this event is predicted to occur on Tuesday. What you're looking at here is the SPC's day 4 through 8 outlook. Specifically for the day 5 outlook, we have a 15% risk area. That includes parts of north central Texas, goes through Oklahoma, up into eastern Kansas, southwestern Missouri, and northwestern Arkansas. And then there's a 30% risk area that includes a smaller area of north central Texas. It goes through the heart of Oklahoma and then into south central Kansas. Typically, we do not see these risk areas be issued this far in advance. As a matter of fact, we had a 30% risk area already included whenever we were at the day 6 level, and we even had a mention of severe weather as far out as day 7. So this is something that's been appearing on the models for quite some time, and the confidence is already pretty significant about the event. So that all kind of raises our potential for a significant severe weather event. And then we go to day 6, and it does appear that this that the severe threat is going to be pushed eastward. We already have 15% risk areas over a larger area that includes northeastern Texas, southeastern Oklahoma, much of Arkansas, parts of Missouri, Illinois, and eastern Iowa. So just kind of by the way that this outlook, the shape of the outlook appears to be, what it's looking like, at least from my perspective, is that it could maybe merge into a squall line type deal after it evolves from Tuesday. But we'll kind of discuss that here in a little bit. So those are our risk areas. Now we're going to take a look at some of our parameters. Different things we're going to be looking at from the GFS model in terms of what's going to be causing the severe weather, what kind of parameters are going to be in place, stuff like that. So this image here that you see, I believe it is the 12 Zulu, which is 7 a.m. Central Time, snapshot from the GFS of surface pressures and 10-meter wind speeds. So let me look at this real quick. Okay, so we have a trough of low pressure that's in Wyoming. What the heck? Sorry, this thing's messing up on me. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we have a trough of low pressure in Wyoming. It's 1,002 millibars, and then it looks like we have another trough that's looking like it's forming there in northern New Mexico, Colorado region. So that's 7 a.m. Tuesday morning. Then we're going to go to the 18 Zulu, which is 1 p.m. Central Time in the afternoon. We have a deepening area of low pressure in Colorado. So that means extending off to the east, you would have a warm front that would be lifting across, looks like in the central northern Kansas region. And that may extend out possibly into Missouri. So we would have a warm front there, and then out of the southwestern part of that low, we would have a cold frontal boundary. This cold front would be located, at this snapshot, the cold front would be out in Colorado, New Mexico region. So already we have a setup We have warm, moist air being lifted north by that warm front, and then your instability and your lift would be from that cold front that at that time would be in New Mexico. So, and we will take a look at how warm and potentially unstable the atmosphere will be here in just a little bit. So, then that low pressure at 0 Zulu Wednesday, which is 7 p.m. Central Time Tuesday night, we have a deepening area of low pressure. As you can see, the winds are getting pretty strong out there in Texas and New Mexico region. 992 millibar low in southeastern Colorado. The warm front is still being lifted northward. It's going towards Nebraska, that region. And then the cold front starts to move into the area of instability, which would be northern Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas region. So storms would be firing along and ahead of that cold front. We would probably start to see activity, in the mid to late afternoon, and then things would really start to get pretty active there in the evening hours of Tuesday. So this would be 7 p.m. Tuesday. I would say just going by this scenario, we would be having the most robust storms probably be located in north central Texas, maybe into central Oklahoma at that time. And then we're going to go to the 6 Zulu Wednesday, which is 1 a.m. Wednesday. The center of the low is in northwest Kansas, so there would be a nice cold front going across the heart of Oklahoma at that time. So looks like the severe weather could be continuing even into the late evening, into the wee hours of Wednesday, potentially. It's all stuff that we should be watching out for sure. I think the most robust severe weather would be Tuesday evening across central Oklahoma for sure, north central Texas into southern Kansas. But we may be looking at some severe weather continuing into the late evening, maybe even into the overnight. But that's something that will become more clearer as these models kind of converge. And then I am going to show you here the surface map. It's valid Wednesday morning. Darn it, I did it again. Hold on. Stupid thing. Okay. Wednesday morning, 12 Zulu. As you can see, by then the low would be in Nebraska. The center of the low would be in Nebraska. There would be a pretty strong cold front going across Oklahoma and Texas. And then the warm front at that time would be starting to lift north into Missouri and Illinois, Kentucky, that region. Okay, so we are now going to look at temperatures. Even Tuesday morning, we're looking at temperatures already into the 70s across Texas and Oklahoma. And that's because the warm front would have already been lifting north across that region, because the warm front, that boundary, by Tuesday morning would probably be into Kansas. So already have warm temperatures there. Those warm temperatures obviously are good fuel for the thunderstorms. Okay, so now we're looking at 18 Zulu, which is 1 p.m. Tuesday afternoon. Temperatures into the 80s. Looks like we even have a spot of 90 there, potentially in north central Texas. So things are definitely very, very warm and very unstable. And we'll look at instability here pretty soon. And then still warm into Tuesday evening, as you can see there. And then Wednesday at 1 a.m. Still pretty toasty, even at 1 a.m. So that means that warm front's gonna be pretty strong. Okay, so we have the warmth, we have the moisture. Now let's I wanted to briefly show a comparison between the GFS as of the placement of the low by 1 a.m. Wednesday. Places it again in northwestern Kansas, as we saw, as compared to the Euro, which is fairly similar, has the low a little bit farther south into maybe southern Kansas. So we do have some model disagreements, which is pretty normal for being many days out The euro is also not quite as deep with the low. But, so yeah, those are things that, like I say, you know, the details are kind of ironed out a few days ahead, you know, when the models get more agreeing with each other. But both models, or many of the models, are showing that there is going to be a deep trough cutting across the central United States and producing severe weather. So we are confident, at least with that. But some of those details still need yet to be ironed out. Okay, so now we're going to look at instability. This is surface-based CAPE. Even at 7 a.m. Tuesday, we are having instability nearly as high as 3,000 joules into central Oklahoma. So already very, very unstable, even just Tuesday morning. And then these parameters just get insane as we get into Tuesday afternoon. 1 a.m. not 1 a.m., 1 p.m., sorry, 1 p.m. Tuesday. Look at that. We have well over 4,000 joules of CAPE into central Oklahoma, and as you can see, it gets very unstable. You know, that instability spreads into northern Texas, southeastern Kansas. So already looking at a lot of instability. I mean, that's pretty off the charts even for this time of the year. And then it gets even crazier, even more widespread instability headed into, you know, you're a little bit past the peak of the daytime heating, but 7 p.m. Wednesday, unbelievable, nearly 5,000 joules of CAPE across parts of Oklahoma and Kansas. And then, of course, still very unstable into Texas. Then, as you can see, the instability even spreads into Missouri. So we are going to have to watch and see if that severe weather does indeed expand into Missouri into the Tuesday overnight hours as well. Definitely probably going to be seeing, like I said, seeing some severe weather across Missouri into Wednesday, you know, Wednesday afternoon in that region. But we may even see some of these storms manage to still be severe into Tuesday overnight as they move eastward into Arkansas and Missouri. So yeah, very, very unstable. We're not too worried about getting the instability. It's looking like it's very likely. So with the atmosphere that's that unstable, you'll be having storms that are very tall, very strong. So definitely looking at a large hail threat, damaging winds. And then, in order to have tornadoes, you need to have wind shear. And this is a snapshot of the GFS 7 p.m. Wednesday. Very strong shear into Kansas, that region, that is expected to drop into Oklahoma. So we are looking at an event with all three hazards: large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes. So we'll probably be looking at some supercell thunderstorms producing these tornadoes. It's probably a bit too early to determine if these tornadoes will be strong to violent, long-tracked, but you know, I wouldn't be surprised with a setup like this that that some of these tornadoes will be very strong. So that's something we all need to watch out for. Very large hail for sure. Damaging winds. It's all there, folks. So we definitely need to keep a close eye on this. Obviously, models can shift around, change a little bit with time, so be sure to keep watching for these updates. But just know that potentially serious severe weather outbreak is possible next week into the heart of our country. So I will be posting regular updates as this situation evolves. So stay tuned for those. All right. Well, if you have any questions, leave a comment, subscribe for more, and we will see you later.